Welcome to our Hong Kong Brief program. I'm your host, Jenny. Today, we have some intriguing news highlights for you. First up, Hong Kong's financial secretary has announced a bold plan to relocate most port operations to Shenzhen, aiming to transform the waterfront real estate and enhance maritime development. This initiative could align Hong Kong more closely with mainland trends and address safety concerns in the port sector. Next, we dive into Japan, where conservatives are having a change of heart regarding Donald Trump. Initially supportive of his potential return, they're now voicing worries over his unpredictable foreign policies that could jeopardize Japan's security and economic stability. A recent poll shows that many Japanese citizens are apprehensive about the implications of a Trump presidency. Lastly, all eyes are on China's upcoming National People's Congress, where investors are hopeful for policy support that could stimulate the economy and drive innovation in AI. With the market on edge due to potential tariffs from Trump, discussions around fiscal strategies and tech innovation are expected to be hot topics. Please stay tuned for more detailed content. South China Morning Post highlights the urgent need for Hong Kong's port sector to transition to Shenzhen. Financial Secretary Paul Chan-Imopa's recent budget speech allocated 215 million Hong Kong dollars for a smart port initiative while proposing the establishment of a Hong Kong Maritime and Port Development Board. The board's first priority should be to relocate most of the port operations to Shenzhen, allowing for the valuable waterfront to be repurposed for real estate development. This move, reminiscent of London and New York's past port relocations, promises to enhance integration with the mainland and could also eliminate the controversial Lantau Tomorrow Vision project. While challenges such as regulatory adjustments and staff retraining exist, the private sector's existing ties to Shenzhen could facilitate a smoother transition. In another piece, the South China Morning Post discusses the shift in sentiment among Japanese conservatives regarding Donald Trump's potential return to the presidency. Initially supportive due to his tough stance on China and promises of increased defense spending, many are now alarmed by his erratic foreign policy and controversial remarks. A Tokyo business owner expressed disappointment over Trump's claims about Ukrainian leadership, while others worry about the implications of a trade war and increased tariffs on Japanese industries. The conservative Sankei Shimbun cautions that Trump's self-righteous approach to global trade could alienate allies and push Japan to reconsider its long-standing partnership with the U.S., highlighting a growing distrust of American leadership. Lastly, the South China Morning Post reports on the anticipation surrounding China's upcoming two sessions, where investors hope to gain insights into policies that could bolster the AI-driven market rally. With over 3,000 delegates convening to discuss economic growth and fiscal policy, the market is eager for indications of increased government support, particularly for the tech sector and consumer confidence. As President Xi Jinping's recent meeting with tech leaders suggests a potential easing of the crackdown on the industry, analysts expect the government to unveil measures that could stimulate consumption. Despite a recent downturn in traditional sectors, the rally in tech stocks has been encouraging, and there is optimism that supportive policies could lead to a sustained recovery in the market. South China Morning Post reports on the pressing need for a transformation in Hong Kong's architectural landscape, pushing for a shift away from the monotonous skyscrapers that dominate the city. Undersecretary for Development David Lam Chi-man advocates for a new mindset to streamline project approvals, yet the article argues that simply reducing bureaucracy isn't enough. British designer Thomas Heatherwick critiques modernism for stripping buildings of their beauty and emotional resonance, and while he acknowledges Hong Kong's bay windows as a positive feature, the article emphasizes that the primary goal of local developers has been maximizing floor area rather than enhancing aesthetic value. The rigid building regulations further stifle creativity, limiting elements like balconies and canopies that could foster a connection with the outdoors. The author calls for a re-evaluation of how design is approached, urging architects to prioritize human-centered environments that engage with the community rather than merely adhering to regulatory constraints. In a fascinating exploration of culinary traditions, South China Morning Post sheds light on how pigeons, often viewed as pests in many parts of the world, have become a beloved delicacy in Hong Kong. Unlike cities where feral pigeons are shunned, Hong Kong's culinary scene embraces crispy-skinned, juicy pigeons, a staple in Cantonese cuisine. The article traces the origins of this culinary practice back to the 19th century, when Chinese migrants from the Pearl River Delta returned from Australia, bringing with them pedigree pigeons that eventually evolved into local varieties like the Sheki pigeon. The adaptability and efficiency of pigeon farming made it an attractive option for many, especially post-war refugees. As a result, pigeons became not just a source of sustenance but a cherished part of Hong Kong's food culture, often enjoyed in casual dai pai dongs where diners savor the experience of eating with their hands. With the opening of the new Kai Tak Sports Park, South China Morning Post speculates on its potential impact on nearby nightlife, particularly in Kowloon City, known for its vibrant bar scene. Historically, sports fans flocked to Wan Chai after events, but the relocation of major events to Kai Tak raises questions about where revelers will go after the games. While the park boasts a 50,000-seat stadium and plans for a fan village, many local businesses remain cautious, unsure how much foot traffic they will see. Bar owners are hesitant to launch promotions, reflecting a wait-and-see attitude as they gauge the new venue's influence. The article highlights the challenges of transportation and accessibility, with some fans expressing reluctance to travel far for nightlife. Local officials hope to encourage visitors to explore not only Kowloon City but also surrounding neighborhoods, suggesting that the sports park could be a catalyst for revitalizing the area's social scene. South China Morning Post highlights the journey of Nepali-American designer Prabal Gurung, who has made a significant mark in the fashion world by dressing prominent figures like Kamala Harris, Oprah Winfrey, and Michelle Obama. Gurung, who launched his New York-based atelier in 2009, draws inspiration from his rich Nepalese heritage, celebrating cultural identity and inclusivity in his designs. He expresses a deep appreciation for the artistic craftsmanship of Nepal, often bringing back handcrafted souvenirs like earrings and pashmina shawls. Gurung's upcoming designs reflect a fusion of Eastern and Western styles, showcasing his vision of a world where both cultures harmoniously coexist. In another piece, the South China Morning Post explores the historical context of alcohol consumption in China, reflecting on a time when a Zhou ruler issued a decree to punish drunkenness severely. The author recounts personal experiences with alcohol, including a regrettable New Year's Eve that led to a resolution to abstain from drinking. The article discusses the detrimental effects of alcohol on health, linking it to various cancers and emphasizing the need for caution, especially among individuals of East Asian descent who may be genetically predisposed to alcohol intolerance. The author concludes that the social lubrication provided by alcohol is not worth the health risks, advocating for a more mindful approach to drinking. The South China Morning Post also delves into the emerging trend of analog wellness, a movement encouraging people to disconnect from their digital devices and engage in offline activities. This trend is gaining traction as more individuals seek to combat the negative effects of excessive screen time, such as anxiety and cognitive overload. The article highlights various activities, from blacksmithing classes to board game cafes, that foster human connections and creativity without the distractions of technology. With retreats and workshops focused on analog experiences, people are rediscovering the joy of simple, hands-on activities that promote mental well-being and social interaction, signaling a cultural shift towards a more balanced lifestyle. South China Morning Post reports on Jane Fraser, the first female CEO of a major U.S. bank, Citigroup, who has recently rolled back the company's diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) efforts. Born in Scotland and raised in Australia, Fraser has an impressive academic background with degrees from Cambridge and Harvard. She has climbed the corporate ladder at Citi since joining in 2004 and earned $34.5 million in 2024. Despite her success, her decision to rename the DI team and abandon previous diversity hiring goals has raised eyebrows, especially as she balances her role as a mother of two with her high-powered career. In another piece by South China Morning Post, Jerry Halliwell Horner's daughter, Bluebell, is making waves in the fashion world. Recently spotted at the Burberry London Fashion Week show, Bluebell, who was born after Halliwell's brief romance with filmmaker Sasha Gervasi, has excelled academically, earning straight A's in her GCSEs. Jerry, who has navigated the challenges of single parenthood with the support of her Spice Girls bandmate Victoria Beckham as godmother, later married Christian Horner, with whom she shares a son. Bluebell's culinary skills have also been highlighted, showcasing her talents beyond just fashion. The South China Morning Post also covers the thrilling Four Peaks race, a grueling endurance challenge that combines sailing and running across Hong Kong's picturesque landscape. This year marked the 40th anniversary of the event, which sees participants sailing and racing up four peaks across Lantau, Lama, and Hong Kong Islands. The race, founded by ex-Marine Stephen Davies, has evolved over the years, now incorporating modern technology for safety and communication. Despite the challenges, including treacherous weather conditions and physical exhaustion, teams like Sailability, which includes disabled participants, demonstrate remarkable resilience and camaraderie, making the event a celebration of endurance and spirit in the face of adversity. Nikkei Asia. In recent years, the height of Chinese children has surged, with many parents now seeking medical interventions to ensure their kids grow taller. One father, Li Tai, worried his son was shorter than 97% of his peers and opted for human growth hormone treatments, which significantly improved his son's height, albeit at a steep cost of 130,000 yuan. This trend reflects a broader societal concern, as many parents believe their children should be taller, often driven by competitive pressures in marriage and employment. Despite improvements in average height due to better nutrition and healthcare, parents remain anxious, leading to a booming market for growth hormones and other height-enhancing methods. As a result, institutions and industries are adjusting to accommodate taller individuals, from transportation standards to clothing sizes, revealing the profound impact of height on social dynamics in China. The Independent, the rise of face-swapping technology has created new challenges in online security, particularly in scams. Scammers are now using advanced AI to manipulate their appearances in real time during video calls, making it increasingly difficult for victims to identify fraudsters. David Mayman, an expert on fraud, highlights how these technologies have evolved, allowing criminals to execute romance scams with deceptive ease. One shocking case involved a woman who lost over £700,000 to a scammer impersonating Brad Pitt. The combination of face swapping and voice cloning technologies complicates the detection of fraud, as scammers can convincingly mimic voices and appearances. This growing trend is not limited to romance scams, it extends to investment fraud and corporate scams, demonstrating how organized crime is adapting to technological advancements to exploit unsuspecting victims. South China Morning Post, Dan Bongino, a prominent right-wing podcaster known for his controversial views, has been appointed as President Trump's deputy FBI director, despite lacking direct experience in federal law enforcement. Bongino, a former Secret Service agent, has built a career criticizing the FBI and the federal government, advocating for sweeping changes within the bureau. His background includes unsuccessful runs for Congress and a popular podcast that has garnered a significant following. Bongino's controversial opinions, including conspiracy theories about election integrity and public health, have sparked debate and criticism. Despite these challenges, he remains a prominent figure in conservative media, illustrating the intersection of politics, media, and personal health struggles as he navigates his new role while being in remission from cancer. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Morning coffee, fresh off the press. Reading headlines, feeling blessed. World keeps turning, stories unfold. Every moment news gets told. Flipping channels, clicking tabs. Feeding my mind's hunger grabs. Facts and figures, images bright. News keeps rolling day and night. Headlines and headlines, can't get enough. Learning about the world, yeah, it's my stuff. Headlines and headlines, stories unfold. Knowledge is power, truth to behold. Politics, science, sports, and art. Every story plays its part. Global voices, voices near. Every headline loud and clear. Need the latest, got to know. Never stopping, always go. Scrolling, swiping, reading on. Daylight breaks in the dawn. Headlines and headlines, can't get enough. Learning about the world, yeah, it's my stuff. Headlines and headlines, stories unfold. Knowledge is power, truth to behold. Need the latest, got to know. Never stopping, always go. Scrolling, swiping, reading on. Daylight breaks in the dawn. Headlines and headlines, can't get enough.